Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Morning, everyone. Good to have you with us. 10,000 Villages is one of the oldest fair trade organizations in the world. Lauren LeBlanc is manager of the Cleveland Heights store, and Kathy Lazar is board chairman there, and they will tell us about the concept behind 10,000 Villages. Then Celia Wilson and Willetta McGowan of Family Empowerment Consultants will talk about the range of services they offer to individuals and families. Later in the broadcast after that, author Ted Osepik will talk about his former career as a videographer here at WEWS News Channel 5. Good morning, I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin with Lauren LeBlanc, who's sitting next to me.
Good morning.
Good morning, good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Kathy Lazar, board chairman of 10,000 Villages
Morning.
in Cleveland Heights. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
tell me, what is 10,000 Villages?
10,000 Villages is a nonprofit fair trade organization, and our mission is to provide opportunities to artisans in developing countries to earn an income by bringing their products and their stories to our markets in North America.
Yeah, and where you located at?
We're located in the Cedar Fairmount neighborhood in Cleveland Heights. We're on Cedar Road.
Yeah, what's the idea of, what's it mean, fair trade? What's that mean?
Fair trade means that the artisans were paid a fair price for their work. We also established long-term relationships with them, so we've been working with some of these people for many years. And we also give them payments up front so that they're able to provide for themselves and take care of their families while they're working and making these products.
And you brought some products with you from all over the world?
We have,
These fair trade. Tell me how you got involved in this. So you're the board chairman. What's the philosophy behind all of this, Kathy?
Well, the philosophy, as Lauren said, is to provide an opportunity for artisans in developing countries to have their products sold, to earn a living. I got involved as a volunteer in the store, and I volunteered for a while, and then I was asked to join the board.
Okay, well, good. You brought some things with you, and why don't we show some of these? I know we had a little shot here of the little man here, or
Sure.
the little woman here. Tell me what that is.
Sure. This is one of my favorite stories. This little figurine in the front is made entirely of an orange peel, and it's made in Colombia by an artisan group called Sapia, and they work with orange juice vendors to use their orange peels to make a craft that they're able to sell.
And you sell this at 10,000 Villages?
We do. We sell home decor, personal accessories, gift items, chocolate, coffees, and teas.
And this gives the artisans in those countries a fair trade. Now, I've heard of fair trade coffee.
Yes.
So the coffee growers are getting a decent price to live on with their products that they're sold in the country. Yeah, what else did you bring with you today?
We also brought a giraffe. And if you can't tell already, it's made completely of Coca-Cola cans.
I noticed the
really
Coca-Cola. I see the Coca-Cola logo in there.
Yes, yeah, it's a great gift. It's made in South Africa. And so a lot of our products are made from items that would otherwise be recycled or thrown away.
Yeah, now what would this cost at Fair Trade? I know you don't have the price
tag.
Sure,
it's about $24. We have our prices of our items range from small items for $4 to much larger art decor and wall hangings.
Kathy, tell me what you think about all of this. What's been the reaction to people who come in your store located at 12425 Cedar Road at the intersection of Fairmount Boulevard in Cleveland Heights?
Well, I think what people think is that the products are very good products. They're at a reasonable price point. They also like the idea that they include recycled materials. This is one of my favorites. It's a wallet that's made out of tires. There are wallets, there are also purses, so they're very well constructed, and they're made out of something that would otherwise be refuge in another country.
A recycled tire.
Right.
And we can put a couple of bucks in there too. I mean, out of a wallet, yeah. And the reaction has been very, very favorable.
It's been very well. One of the best parts about our products is that every product has a story. So you're not just giving a gift to someone, you're giving them a story, which makes the product very meaningful. And we can always include those stories in our gifts whenever we print them out at the store. You can also read stories online, and you can watch videos online as well to see some of our artisans.
Now, this feels like it was made out of newspaper, because I see writing in there.
Yes, it was.
This little pot here, this little, very lightweight, but newspapers, I see print. I can see the words on there in some parts of it.
Yes, they're very unique gifts.
Very nice stuff.
Meaningful.
Yeah. And also, there's some food here you brought as well. It looks like chocolate.
We brought some chocolate. We sell chocolate coffees and teas, and we have a variety of flavors. They're wonderful gifts. They're additions to gifts as well. And we're also having some events to celebrate Chocolate Week and National Coffee Day. So if you check out our website or Facebook, you can find out more about our events.
And our website is clevelandheights.10000villages.com.
Correct, yes.
clevelandheights.10000villages.com. Kathy, why the name 10,000 Villages? I know there's some significance to that.
10,000 Villages is named that because from a quote, based on a quote from Gandhi, where he said that India, the story of India isn't told by the cities, it's told by the 10,000 villages within India. And the products that we sell are from small villages throughout the developing world.
And are there other stores like this around Northeast Ohio?
We are the only 10,000 villages in Cleveland, but there are some other fair trade stores in Northeast Ohio. There's over 100 10,000 village stores online.
I'm intrigued by this one right here.
Yes.
Can I pick that up?
Absolutely. It's made from a tin can. It's a musical instrument, and they've carved design in there as well. So they are functional gifts.
What would you think this would cost now?
It's about $12, so there are some very reasonably priced items.
Great.
A little music there. Maybe I got a new career going. Then again, maybe not. Well, thank you so much. Lauren LeBlanc, manager of 10,000 Villages, and Kathy Lazar, who's board chairperson of 10,000 Villages, Cleveland Heights. Thank you so much for being on the broadcast. Let me put a phone number on the screen. 575-1058 is their phone number in the 216 area code, or you can go to clevelandheights.10000villages.com. They're located at 12425 Cedar Road, right at the intersection of Fairmount in Cleveland Heights. Thank you so much for being on the broadcast.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
We're going to play a little music, and I'm going to take a break. Back after these wonderful notes played by Family Empowerment Consultants. Helps individuals and families with a variety of challenges. Pastoral counselor Willetta McGowan and family consultant Celia Wilson are here to talk about the programs and services offered. Celia Wilson sitting next to me, and Willetta McGowan sitting on the outside. Thank you, ladies, for being on the broadcast with us today. What is Family Empowerment Consultants?
Family Empowerment Consultants is a marketplace ministry designed to provide educational, family supportive services. And our goal is to save the lives of children.
If we can save the lives of children, they can grow up to be strong adults.
Exactly.
That's the goal.
Exactly.
And to keep them on the straight and narrow.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Willetta McGowan, you tell us about your role as a pastoral counselor. What's that mean?
Well, I empower families. We use a holistic approach as a way of assessing the family dynamics and empowering them to be all that they can be by utilizing different parenting skills and interventions to teach them that everything that goes on in the family affects your children.
Where do you do this at? What neighborhood? Are you in specific neighborhoods? Or?
Well, we do this through the Launch House that's on Lee Road. We also will come directly to your home. We utilize churches, community centers. We also are in partnership with Yamari, in which we're, through county, we work with families and children also.
So what kind of services are we talking about? Specifically, what kind of services?
We provide parenting. We provide family-teen mediation, parenting mediation. We provide premarital educational classes. And then we do urban youth traumatic stress response syndrome awareness.
Yeah. Now what's that mean, urban youth? Give me that again.
It's urban youth traumatic stress syndrome awareness. It's different than PTSD. It's not a diagnosed medical condition, but a professor, Dr. Pearson, he came up with this concept before he passed away. And the difference is with urban youth violence traumatic stress syndrome is the kids go towards the trauma. They go towards the violence. They don't go away. They don't shy away from it. And that's the difference. So when you try to treat something like that, if you're using PTSD protocol, you're going to miss what the kid needs.
Yeah. How did you get involved in this now, Willetta McGowan?
I met Ms. Wilson through another organization that I was working with. And we had a family that we worked on together. And we seen the need of families need not only parenting skills, but also behavior management skills for the child. So you need that holistic approach looking at things, utilizing that, like if a parent loses a job, that's going to affect the child. So the child is not only dealing with the things that happen in school, like tests and peer pressure, but they're also dealing with the stressors that are filtering over to them from the parent.
How do folks get in touch with you? I'm going to borrow your information here.
They can reach us through our website, familymempowermentconsultants.weebly.com, or email familymempowermentconsultants@gmail.com, or by phone at 440-317-2496.
How long you been doing this, Celia?
I've been working with families for over 30 years, but I developed, the name of the parenting program is called Purposeful Parenting, and I developed that 6 years ago.
I've got a book here now. This is your book?
That's correct.
Your book. You've written this book about tell me a little bit about this, Anointed.
Anointed Married Christian Men, that's about alleviating some of the myths that women have about marrying Christian men. A lot of them think that if they marry a man who is spiritual, that their lives are going to be just, I don't want to be too overly dramatic, but kind of la la ha, and he's a man, he's going to get tired, he's going to want to eat, you know, he's got to go to work, so it's just, he's a real person, he has feelings, you know, so it's about that. But the important part of this book is chapter 6, because it deals with protecting your children. And October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so this will help keep your kids safe. Chapter 6.
Got another book here that I want to get a shot on this, because this one intrigues me quite a bit there. Now, now, give me a thumbnail sketch of this now, and why this picture of this toilet here.
God, Did You Call Me a Toilet is an analogy about the fivefold ministry. It uses the analogy of a home, the 5 rooms in a home: bathroom, kitchen, living room, dining room, and the kitchen. I think I said bedroom, whatever the 5 rooms are. But anyway, in the dining room. And so that just helps people to learn how to use their gifts, how to manage their gifts, and how to support fivefold ministry leaders.
Yeah. Now, who does some of the training on this? Who does some of the work with the parents and the children? Do you both go out? And are there others involved in this as well?
We have others that go out with us. We have a lady who is a retired preschool administrator. She goes with us. We have some social workers who go with us. I'm an Ohio chemical prevention specialist too, and then we have Willetta. She's a counselor. So, and I train family empowerment consultants.
What kind of counseling do you have to do mostly? What do you see out there in Greater Cleveland? I've got 30 seconds remaining.
We see all types of different things that affect families. So whether it's a parent dealing with a child with mental health disorders, whether it's a parent who lost a job, dealing with relational issues, parenting conflict, so all those types of things affect the whole family dynamic.
So you try to build up that family.
Absolutely.
Is there a faith component in this as well?
Absolutely.
A spiritual component in this?
Absolutely. Because that affects how they deal with it. So knowing that you have to believe in yourself and your family. Having a family mission statement is the most important thing. What is your mission for your family?
Got a phone number on the screen. You can get more information, 440-317-2496. You can get more information from these ladies, Celia Wilson and Willetta McGowan from Family Empowerment Consultants. Thank you so much for being on the broadcast. We wish you well. And I know you got a lot to do, because there's a lot of concerns out there.
Absolutely.
And thank you for what you've done already and what you will do in the future.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about making television history with one of the persons who has seen it all after this. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Former News Channel 5 photographer Ted Osepik has written about his experiences in a new book called Capturing the Moment. He'll talk about his book and some of his career experiences with us. Good to see you again, Ted.
Good to see you.
Things are well. You worked for years as a cameraman on the street here, covering stories all over Northeast Ohio, right? And the world, really.
Yes.
Yeah. What stands out? What people ask you all the time? What was the biggest story you ever covered that you remember?
Well,
you covered everything.
It's hard to put your finger on, but the one that initially I got involved in was the Sam Shepard second trial.
Second trial, that would have been in the mid-60s, I recall.
Yeah.
I think that was. Yeah. Now, when did you join Channel 5 as?
62.
And when did you become a cameraman covering stories on the street?
64.
Yeah. I got a picture here of Ted on assignment here, and I love that we'll get a shot. We'll get a shot of this. And you've written a book called Capturing the Moment.
Yes.
That's what you had to do as a cameraman, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I love that because you're in rain gear, and as a news photographer and news reporter, it rains hard, but that does not stop us from going out.
That's for sure.
And probably get out the door earlier and do a story on the rain. But what's in the book now? 40 years as a Cleveland photojournalist.
Well, I started as a photographer with Mayor Loker when I was working for the city of Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then I was also a photographer for the National Guard, the 37th Division that used to be at the Armory on Lakeside. And they tore that down now, and the Justice Center's there.
Yeah. What kind of challenges did you face?
Well, every day was different. I mean, it was one of these. You were walking into situations where you really did not know what you're going to find or what's going to happen, and so it's adjusting on the street. Being a street person, you have to be able to understand what you're up against and what's happening.
And there's a street language too that you have to be able to read when something's getting ready to break or something's getting ready to happen.
That's right, but that comes with experience.
Yeah. In here, I see there are photographs of you with Dorothy Fulltime over in Europe. And on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, and interviewing some of everybody, working with John Hambrick, who was one of the anchors here. Although you and I never really worked together, because by the time I got to Channel 5, you were gone. Yeah. But we used to run into each other when I was working at Channel 3.
That's right.
We would run into each other all the time covering the same stories.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're giving your age away now.
I certainly am. Well, it's hard to, when you've been on the air as long as I have, it's hard to say, well, I'm still 26 years old. I wish I were, but I'm not. What do you want us to get out of this book, Capturing the Moment?
Well, it's been rattling around in my head since I started after I left Channel 5, I should say. And over the years, I've always wanted to tell the story, what happened. And I belonged to Leadership Ashtabula, which is an organization, about 20 years I've been with it. And I would tell these stories to people, and they would say, well, one of these days you ought to write that. You ought to do something with it. You ought to write a book. And I was encouraged by Evelyn Schaefer and she helped me. She was instrumental in getting this started, which I probably would not have written it had she not coaxed me to go through it.
What must a newsman keep in mind? And the photographers are newsmen too. What must a news person keep in mind? You started as a copy boy for the Plain Dealer in 1944. What must a newsman keep in mind when covering a story?
Actually, what it is, it's show and tell for us as far as television is concerned, and as long as you stay in touch with the 5 W's, you know, you're
the who, what, when, where, why, and how of a story.
So
and you try to capture that. Where can we find the book, Ted Osepic?
Well, we can. It's Leadership Ashtabula is online with it, and if anybody really sees me out there, I've got a case in my back trunk of my car.
The old one? Selling books out of the trunk of a car. I mean, it still works. Believe me, I know plenty of people who do it. You can get more information, by the way, by going to bookwire.com. Bookwire.com. And is there a story you want to leave me with? I've got about 40 seconds remaining.
Well, I think when I walked through the door, I saw E.W. Scripps bust there by the door, and he's been there before I came.
The founder of the company.
Yes, and there was one period in time when we were negotiating with management, and I took it from
that's where it was anchored there.
It was but it wasn't anchored at the time. It was just sitting there, and I put my hat on it and went next door to the swamp, which used to be right next door. And I put him on the bar, and we were all sitting there, and we drank to him.
Ted, I've heard that story. Even before you told me I'd heard that story. Right. Ted Osepic, appreciate you coming by to talk about Capturing the Moment, the new book by Ted Osepic about his life on the streets as a photographer for News Channel 5. 5 over the years. Thank you much, Ted.
Good
to see you, my
Thanks for being
friend.
here.
Good to see you, my friend. Taking a break, Marsha Mockaby of the Urban League will be here with a commentary after this. Here now is your friend and mine, Marsha Mockaby, President and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, who always offers a commentary at the end of our broadcast. Hey, Marsha.
Hey, Leon, how are you doing?
Doing fine. I'm doing
I'm
okay.
doing good, doing good. Listen, you know, this is the season that the young people are going back to school. So it's the fall season, it's the beginning of the school year, and we just really have great hopes for what's going to happen this school year with our young people. We know there are a lot of challenges going on in our educational systems, but you know, we just heard in the previous segment that what happens at home is critical to what happens to children everywhere. So as parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, we've got to just surround our young people and encourage them and really have high expectations for them and encourage them to do their best in every single thing that they do.
You've got an audience out there of potentially 1.5 million people watching this broadcast right now. Potentially, I don't know if all of them are watching right now. But what would be your advice, if you could give up in one sentence to the parents out there of children?
Every day, not so much to look at and interact with the child as we may see them today, but think about who they are to become in the future and begin to speak into their lives and pour into their lives as though they're the person that you hope that they're going to become. And I think the more that we reinforce that vision of who they can become and we talk to them that way and we encourage them that way, the more likely they are to move along that path.
I am willing to bet that a handful of years ago, a couple of years ago when you were a teenager, somebody was talking to you in those terms.
Absolutely, absolutely. I had someone that believed that I could go to college, that I could become something when I didn't even see it for myself. And as a first generation high school grad in my family and college grad, somebody said, you can do this.
Words of wisdom from Marsha Mockaby. That's going to do it for us. We'll both say
So long.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.